What is going on, my fellow comic book readers, collectors, and enthusiasts alike? I am Alt here at Control Alt Defeat Comics, and it is time for a new comic book day. Yes, that is right. It is New Comic Book Day, December 3rd, 2025, and it is time for New Comic Book Day vlog numero dos. And like I always do, I want to start off with my quote-unquote top 3 of last week and talk a little bit about them. So, first up, let me just specify, this is kind of not a top 3. Last week was so fat stacked that I just did not feel comfortable only talking about 3 comics. So, we're talking about 5. And tied at number 3 here, we have got Rick Remender's Escape. This is issue number 4. Alongside Feral, this is issue number 18. We're going to talk about Escape first, though. This is a Rick Remender book, and this is a phenomenal read. The first 3 issues have been great. The first 3 issues were great, so I was really excited to read this one, and it has continued the pace. It is such a good story. We've got Rick Remender on writing with Daniel Acuna on art and colors. And this is just, it's so good. Like, you feel so much emotion behind these characters and the story, and it has such a huge emotional weight to it that I just think is, it's phenomenal. You know, it's character driven, and it's beautiful, honestly, in its own way. Like, it's a great war story, and, like, the art is good. I will say I was not the most, like, excited about this when it first was announced. Like, everybody else was super hype about it, and I was like, anthropomorphized animals, whatever. But then I read issue 1, and I've been hooked ever since. And that is why it is tied at my number 3 spot with another animal book. This is Feral, issue number 2, another Image comic book. And this is story by Tony Flex, Trish Forrester on art, and Tone Rodriguez, I believe, is also on art, with Brad Simpson on colors. Yep. And this story is great. I mean, the art is phenomenal. The characters, the stories, everything about it is just so good. And I love. I'm sure I probably just spoiled the last page of the issue for you, but if you're watching my New Comic Book Day vlogs, you should know that there are spoilers for the previous Comic Book Day, for the previous week, in this week. So I apologize if you just got spoiled, but read this. Read this. It is a zombie survival story from the perspective of a group of house cats trying to survive a massive rabies outbreak, and it is great. Now then, tied for number 2. People are going to disagree about these. This is Absolute Batman number 2. They're tied for number 2, but this is Absolute Batman number 14 and DCKO number 2. Okay, so there's where I was confused. Absolute Batman is peak. This book right here, this book is so good. This story in particular, number 14, it wraps up the storyline with Bane. It is just phenomenal. It's so cool, and the conclusion is incredibly satisfying. And just like the art, the details, the storytelling, everything about this book is great. The way this book ends is phenomenal. The way this storyline just wraps up, it's just great. I can barely come into words, but it's so good. And then you get into DCKO here. DCKO. This story right here is phenomenal. I know I've said the word phenomenal a lot, but it is really the best word I can think of to describe how unbelievably good this story has been. Every tie-in has been good. All of this story has been good. It's not Scott Snyder with Javier Fernandez and Alejandro Sanchez, and this book is just great. I mean, the art is just phenomenal. I do dig these, like, whatever these covers are, but I like the art in this book is just so good. The story, phenomenal. Just everything about it is so good. I'm trying to look for our bracket here. Yeah, here we are. And just this whole concept of this story has been great. And this second issue took everything I liked about the first issue and just cranked it up even more. So I'm super excited to see where this continues. I can't wait to read some of the tie-ins that I've got this week coming out. Spoiler alert for a future part of this video. But yeah, that is... Oh no. I've knocked over my new comic books. I have recovered my comic books. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I just finished talking about DCKO and how much I'm enjoying it. And I hadn't talked yet about my number one from last week. Everybody's going to disagree with this. I don't care. This was Invisible Man, issue 4. This was the finale of this story. And my goodness, this story was just so much fun. Every bit of this story was good. Start to finish, great. It does have some action. There is, a little bit of action in here. But the story is very much carried by the characters, the dialogue, and the art is also just beautiful. I loved everything about this book, and this end for me was an incredibly satisfying end. I do hope we get like a sequel or a second volume. I know these are based on the Monster Universe movies, so I imagine if they did another thing, it would be a sequel. But regardless, I really hope we get something in with this Invisible Man again, because he was so good, and this book was so great. I cannot gush enough about it. So I'm going to stop gushing about that and start talking about this stack of comics I've got here, thanks to my local comic shop, Alter Ego Comics. And yeah, we're going to start off with Marvel. We've actually got a couple of things that are not technically new from the new Comic Book Day stack here. We have got the Ultimates 16 and 17, because I'm trying to catch up on the Ultimate. Hold on. Hang on. Something is amiss. There we are. There we are. Ultimates 16 and 17. Sorry, I just gave you another spoiler. This video is just going great. Yep, just picking these up because I am really excited to read the Ultimates. I'm slowly catching up. Slowly but surely. Then, for new comic books, new number ones in particular by Marvel, we have got the Ultimate Universe 2 years in. This is a one-shot. It is by Dennis Camp. Yep, Dennis Camp is on this one, and I'm really excited about this. I know I'm behind on the Ultimate Universe. I do not care. I'm still reading it because I'm still super excited about where the Ultimate Universe is going. I'm caught up on Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm getting caught up on the Ultimates, and then I'm gonna work on the rest as soon as I get the chance here. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one here. Like I said, Dennis Camp is on writing with, I think it's the same team as the main Ultimates book, actually. But like I said, just really excited to check out this little special here. Then another new number one we have got Doctor Strange. This is issue number 1. He is currently the Asgardian sorcerer or something to that effect. This is written by Derek Landy, with art by Ian Fioriel and color by Dono Sanchez Almara. I'm really excited about this one. I can't wait to read it. Cannot wait to read it. This is gonna be fun. I mean, I'm a big Doctor Strange fan, so yeah, really excited to see where they take the character. I'm sure eventually they're gonna restore his status as Sorcerer Supreme, but for now, we'll see where he's gonna continue going here. Then we've got Wiccan, The Witch's Road, issue number 1. This is a character I've never gotten super duper into, but I did watch the Agatha All Along show, and I enjoyed that. So I enjoyed his character in that, and I've been reading some more stuff on his character since, and I wanted to check this out. Plus, I mean, he's related to Wanda, and she's got her new status in the Marvel continuity, which you're about to see here in a minute. When does that come out? That's not this week, is it? No, it is not. That is next week, maybe. Regardless, this is a book I'm very excited about. Who is on this book? It is written by Wyatt Kennedy, art by Andy Pereira, and color by Brian Valenza. So yeah, definitely excited to give that one a read. Then next up on my Marvel list is Fantastic Four. This is issue 6. Ryan North is on this book with Huberto Ramos on penciling and ink by Victor Alzaba. And yeah, this is the first issue of the Invisible Woman Part 1. A new story about Sue, and I'm pretty excited. I love Sue Storm. She's such an interesting character, so I'm very excited to see this new story focusing on her. Then, rounding it off for the end of my Marvel stack, this is Venom 252. Really enjoyed where this last book ended. This is Al Ewing on the story, and let's see, Paco Medina on arts with Frank Diamada on colors. And this is the introduction of the new Spider-Man, which I'm assuming Venom is now calling himself Spider-Man. So that's pretty cool. And apparently Venom can just change his color at will. We don't think we've seen that power before, but that's, neither here nor there. Very excited to give that one a read. I have enjoyed the last couple of issues. I picked it up at 250 because of Null. And I've been enjoying it. I am not so sure if I'm going to keep it on my list, but it's going to stay there for at least the time being. That was it for Marvel. And we're moving on to DC. We've got DC KO Night Fight. This is issue 2. This is Joshua Williamson, Dan Mora, and Pharrell. I can't remember their first name. But very, very much so loved that first issue. Was a lot of fun. Batman taking on these, Robins who have become Batman. Really excited about it. Really excited to read that. One of the DC KO tie-ins that we've got this week. And then the next one is this here, DC KO All Fight Month. This is Superman versus Captain Atom. Joshua Williamson on this one with, wish it would tell me on the first page. I much prefer when you tell me on the first page what your writing team is on your book, but there we go. It's Joshua Williamson with Sean Aziki on arts, and Trish Movehill on colors. Also, Hi-Fi is on colors for some of the pages. Very excited to read this. I've been loving DCKO. They haven't had a tie-in that I have not liked yet on DCKO, which is really rare for me. Usually with these big events, I usually am not the biggest, like, tie-in person. Sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning. But this story is a completely different story. It's been so good. Next up on our DC list, we have another book I'm behind on right now. We have Green Lantern. This is issue number 9. Absolute Green Lantern, issue number 9. This is Al Ewing on this book, I believe. And I am enjoying what I've read of this. Like I said, I need to get caught up, so I don't want to flip through there too much to spoil myself to try and find the credits page. But that was it on my DC stack. So we are now moving on to the independent comics. You know I love my independent comics. And this week we're starting off our independent stack with G.I. Joe. This is issue number 15. This is part of the Energon universe. Joshua Williamson on the writing with Tom Riley on arts and Jordi Belair on colors. This, I am behind on this one as well, actually. But I have been loving G.I. Joe. I love everything Energon universe. So I'm really excited to continue getting caught up so I can get to this issue. I just need to read it all. And I will get there. Next up on my independent comic stack, we have got another Image book. This is Rook Exodus issue 8. This is another book I need to catch up on. I need to read 7 and 8, then this. Issue 7, I did not pull it at my comic shop, so I had to order it online. It is coming. This is Jeff Johns, Jason Fabrook, and it is phenomenal. This is great. I read the first volume in trades, and it was just amazing. I can't stress enough how unbelievably good this story has been. Yeah, it's just great. I mean, just great. I read through the first deluxe edition hardcover that came out not too long ago, and chef's kiss. So good. Next up on my independent comic book stack here, I'm actually going to save that one for last. We have got Rick and Morty The End. This is issue number 1. I also picked up this. This is the Blindless Blind Bag. That's right. They are blind bags, but they don't come bagged. So it's just a variant cover. Rick and Morty's goofy. I'm into Rick and Morty. I haven't read any of the comics yet, but I want to read this one, so I want to check it out. We will see what I think. And then rounding it off, the last on my independent stack here, we have got Blue Falcon and Dynamite. This is issue number 4. It's a Dynamite series by Jimmy Palmiotti, I do believe. Yes, Jimmy Palmiotti on writing with Pasquale Quilano on arts. And yes, very much enjoying the crap out of this story. The art, the writing, the characters, everything about this story is great, and I cannot wait to read this issue. So, with that being said, that is going to be all of my comics that I have pulled for this week. So, what are my picks of the week? What are the ones that I'm the most excited to read? Marvel, DC, and Independent. Well, for Marvel, we're going to give that up. Yep. We're going to go ahead and give that up to Fantastic Four, issue number 6. I am a big Sue Storm fan, so I'm really excited to read this and check out what her new big story arc is going to be here. So, yeah, can't wait to read this one. definitely on the top of my stack for Marvel this week. DC, my top of the stack is definitely going to DC KO Fight Night issue 2. Although special shout out to that Captain Atom versus Superman issue, because I'm also incredibly excited to read but this first issue just gripped me so much on this story, and I cannot wait to read more of it. So that one is my big excitement comic for DC. And when it comes to independent comics, I'm going to have to give it to 2 different stories for a reason. And that is because I'm not caught up on Rook Exodus yet. So I don't feel it's fair to give it to Rook Exodus. However, Rook Exodus. But because I don't know that it's fair to give it to Rook Exodus, I'm also going to talk about Blue Falcon and Dynamite. Because this story is phenomenal. It's great. The art's great. The characters are great. It made me feel this, though. I mean, I'm a huge Jeff Johns fan. I'm a big fan of Jason Fabric's art now after reading the first 6 issues of this. So it has to get on my top. So, yeah. But that is going to be the top of my list for the week, and that is going to be the end of my new Comic Book Day vlog for December 3rd of 2025. If you guys enjoyed, please feel free to drop a like, a comment, even a subscription if you want to. Any kind of feedback or conversation would be greatly appreciated. I would love to sit down there and talk to you about what you guys are most hyped for this week, what you have on your pull list. If you think there's anything that I did not put on my pull list that I absolutely need to read, let me know. I always want to hear what other people are reading. But with that being said, remember to continue reading your comics and have yourself a fantastic day, fantastic week, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.